I'm your chef, Rick Henderson, for lower blood pressure foods. Today we're going to make a creme anglaise with mint. So really that is just a custard with some mint flavor. So I have 500 milliliters or 2 cups of water. We're just going to put it in our saucepan and we want to bring this to a boil slowly. You don't want to go too fast because what happens is you end up burning some of the milk and that burn flavor will go throughout everything. 1/4 cup of sugar, but we're going to use about 3/4 of it. So basically I use 1 cup and we're just going to put that in there with the milk. Give it a little bit of a stir and we're going to slowly bring this to a boil. And while it's heating up and getting ready to boil, we're going to separate some eggs from some egg whites for the custard. Alright, so let me move this sugar out of the way. Usually get 2 containers. Got a plastic one here because I usually put the egg whites in here and I'll use them later for something else, so like an egg white omelet, or I may actually make some cookies or a cake. So get a nice crack, pull it open, see the egg white starting to come out, go back and forth a little bit so you get all the egg white out, and then carefully place it in there. I don't know why I carefully place it in there, because we all know that these eggs are going to get beaten fairly good at the end. All right. You got the idea. I'll do one more, and then we will edit out for time purposes. There we go. 3 perfectly. Oh, broke one. All right, so it's starting to come to a boil. We're going to turn the heat off. We're going to grab our mint. I like to kind of bunch it up, roll it over. We give it a nice little chop. Careful of your fingers, of course. We're going to take this mint and it's just going to go right in. Okay? Give it a nice little mix. Ooh, you can immediately smell all that mint. So if you're one of those mint lovers, mint chocolate chip, this is what you want to do. Put the lid on it, remove it from the heat, and then we're just going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. So remember our eggs that we separated? So this is why I put them in a container, put them off to the side, and they are good for whenever you want to make something else. So now we're going to take our egg yolks that we have, we're going to put them in our mixing bowl. Yeah, and they're getting ready. Lock it. Start on, a low-medium heat, or sorry, a low-medium speed, and then slowly add our sugar in. And we want to get to a nice ribbony consistency. Now we can speed it up. So we've let our milk, sugar, and mint infuse in there. Oh, that smells so good. And we're going to bring it back to a boil, have it a little bit higher than medium, and once it's come back to a boil, we'll ship it over to the eggs and sugar, and they're going to join the party. All right, so you can start to see some movement in the leaves that tells you it's coming to a boil. So we're going to turn the heat off. Now, sometimes you strain this. I'm going to leave the mint chunks in here because people in my family really enjoy that minty flavor. But before I put it in the eggs, I'm going to put it in here so that I can slowly pour it in. Because if you put it in too fast, then what happens is you cook the eggs with that sudden surge of heat. So we're just going to pour this in here. And this allows me control over how fast I put it in the mixer. Because there isn't a lot of space. The heat is off and we are ready to get the party parts together. All right, so we have it all combined, whisking constantly. Now remember, you don't want to go too fast because what will happen is it'll just splatter everywhere and you'll have hot, minted custard all over the countertop, which is not really fun to clean up. And if you're like me, you have to clean up your own messes. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we turn the pan down to low. Yeah. And then we're just going to insert this back into the frying pan and cook it while stirring occasionally. Ooh, doesn't that look yummy? All right, so got that done. And you don't have to stir constantly, but you do want to make sure that nothing burns. And look at our heat, we're just above 2. All right, so we're checking it out. A lot of the foam has died off, so you'll know when it's ready when you put your spoon in, rub your finger down the back, and you can see that nice clear line. We are ready to now strain this. All right, so I was told by the boss she doesn't want any mint chunks in her creme anglaise, so we're just gonna use a nice little strainer here. Pretty simple, I just took some cheesecloth, some laundry pegs, and put it over top of a bowl, and voila. Then we'll just let this strain. Don't want to go too fast because it will overflow the top. Ta-da! And we will just let that strain through and we'll be left with all the big mint chunks in the cloth. This is minted creme anglaise. You could have it on fruit, pancakes, and waffles. Hey, give that back, teenagers. All right, so we're checking it out. A lot of the foam has died off, so you'll know when it's ready when you put your spoon in, rub your finger down the back, and you can see that nice clear line. We are ready to now strain this.